nothing to disclose for this presentation. We're going to be going with the introduction and then beginning my hypertension journey, and then blood pressure as an adult on dialysis, Press syndrome, my IVIG, epigen, and then a rep. The beginning of my renal journey begins with, I was on dialysis at 2 years old because I was born with a kink in my ureter causing one kidney to partially form and the other didn't. I was transplanted with my dad's kidney a month before my 5th birthday, and it lasted me 18 years, and I've been back on dialysis since 2015. Due to the previous transplant, I am highly sensitized. The earliest memory I have of high blood pressure was around 10 years old. After transplant, I fell in love with food, so got a little bit heavy set. One day we went to a nephrologist appointment I had, and my doctor told me that I had high blood pressure, and with my weight, I was at risk for diabetes. And then, so my parents made the decision that it was time to, for a lifestyle change, and we started to exercise more and eat healthier as a family. And she also started me on a blood pressure combo drug as well. And eventually after that, my blood pressure was pretty steady for most of the transplant. I don't remember having any problems. But when I got to dialysis in 2015, I was on hemo, and at the center, as I was on the machine, my blood pressure would spike. And when that happens, the PCPs would give me Clonidine, kind of like it was candy. And the nephrologist, when I went in, decided to start me on nifedipine, but I took it a couple times and I didn't tolerate it. It made me dizzy, I was nauseous, and I had a headache. So I spoke to him and my doctor, and we tried some other medications which didn't seem to work as well, so he asked me if we could try nifedipine a couple more times, so we did, and I still had the same issues with it. And so eventually that led me to not taking it at all, which led me here to Press syndrome. Since I was not compliant with it, my blood pressure would be 220 over 180, and one day I woke up with blurry vision, and throughout the day it got worse until I couldn't see and I lost my vision completely. My parents got me to the emergency room, and where I then had 2 seizures, and then the ER department diagnosed me with Press syndrome, with posterior reversible encephalopathy. Sometimes caused by high blood pressure, the brain swells and presses against the occipital lobe and causes vision loss and headaches. I had an EEG on my head, and the press had altered my mental status, and I wasn't myself at all. And due to Press syndrome, I now have lesions left over in my brain from it. Like I said, I was highly sensitized from my first transplant. So with that being said, I wanted to start IVIG to see if I can lower my antibodies. But with the IVIG, the volume received by the patient is 1.5 liters. The volume causes their blood pressure to spike during the infusion. For that, the protocol is to stop the infusion and give a dose of Clonidine, and continues when it comes down. I'm not a fan of Clonidine because it has rebound effects, which causes your blood pressure to go higher, and you get these really intense migraines. There's no way for me to explain it. They're horrible. So I had 2 side effects of the IVIG working against me, and that was the my hemoglobin would drop dramatically, and my blood pressure would spike. And when my hemoglobin would drop, we would do the epigen so that I can continue treatment. But again, with the epigen, that causes my blood pressure as well. So in order to maintain that, we decided to start checking my hemoglobin weekly. Advice for patients and physicians. Patients, I would say, honesty is the best policy. The physicians can't help you if you aren't open about how the meds make you feel, or whether or not you're taking them. The relationship between a physician and a patient is extremely important, and I would like to say, physicians, please take into consideration everything that the patient is saying. I would also like to add to another reason why, for me personally, I stopped taking my blood pressure medications is I would take them and my blood pressure would go low, 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 and then I would wake up and take my blood pressure first thing, and it's normal. So why would I take a blood pressure medication for something if my blood pressure is already, tolerated? I wouldn't want it to drop and go lower to the point where I don't feel good. So my key points and takeaways are medications obviously can't work if patients aren't taking them, and patients must be honest with physicians. Please listen to the patient. And hypertension also includes a lot of trial and error before you can find the right medication. And I would just like to thank ASN so much for letting me be here to share my story with you all, and thank you so much to both my moderators, and I hope that you all enjoyed and have a better understanding to the patient's view of this.
Thank you again very much for being here and providing your perspective. All right, please announce your location.
Yeah, Jenkins, Portland, Oregon. Just wondering, to ask Gabby if you worked out something that's got your blood pressure under control now, and how did that happen if it did?
Yes, I actually had to stop the IVIG treatments, and ever since I stopped that, about a month or two later, my blood pressure dropped. But I am also on 2 medications. I take lisinopril and diltiazem, both twice a day, and so far that has worked out for me.
Again, it's me. Ms. Morales, in the name of my patients, I would like to thank you for your courage, for teaching me how to better take care of my patients, and I salute you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, I appreciate that.
Gabby?
Oh, did I want?
Sorry, Gabby.
Oh, no,
Can I ask
okay.
some more questions?
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Can I start since I'm right here?
Yes, please.
I think this is very admirable of you to do this for us. I'm very, my heart always goes out to the young nephrology patients, but I think your point is that these side effects a lot of times are very real.
Yes.
And that we tend to change medicines, we don't tend to see what those side effects are. I think it's a situation where sometimes we have to start low and go slow.
Yes.
And if you've had high blood pressure for a significant period of time, you really cannot decrease that blood pressure quickly. And I think that's what our referring physicians do. They expect to get to goal in 1 or 2 treatments. And I always tell my patients, this is gonna be something that has to take place over time. The other thing is that patients don't like you changing medicines that they have to pay for. I actually pay for what I use in my clinic and have it there to give. And when I write a prescription, whatever they've had, whatever I've given, they're controlled on before I write that prescription.
I really like that.
And so that's one thing that we could do also, but that point of listening to the patient is very real, and thank you again for coming.
Thank you.
Hello, Carolyn Mannix from Brisbane, Australia. I'm just wondering, Gabby, if you'd be able to talk a little bit more around what your thoughts were or what your feelings were when I guess your physician suggested that you might try the nifedipine again, and there was sort of some, there had been discussion around the fact that you hadn't tolerated it, and then some kind of tacit agreement that you might try it again. Did you know it right then in the interview that you weren't going to take it again, or was that something that came up later? And can you sort of talk a bit more around that?
Well, I have a really good relationship with our nephrologist, and I kind of just, if he says it's gonna work, it's gonna work, but I just wasn't, I didn't want to, but I was willing to try because that's what he wanted me to do. But I think all in all, I took about 3 doses within the 3 times that he prescribed it, and I couldn't, and so that, but I also didn't want to go up to him and tell him, hey, I tried it just 1 time, and I don't want to do this again. So I kind of, put some time in between where I wasn't taking it, and then, oh no, it's not working. But then eventually, I came out and I was honest with him, and I said, look, I cannot take this anymore because I can't, the side effects, I can't deal with them.
Do you think it would have helped if we as physicians give more permission for you to say that you're not going to do it, or that it's not working, or perhaps a phone call a few days later to see how it's going? Do you think that might help? Or
Possibly, maybe, I'm not too sure about that because, you know, patients can always tell you they're taking them and they're not with a phone call. So I just was so determined for him to find something else for me that I was just determined to not take that after. So I hope that helps.
Thank you.
I want to thank you too for stepping up. I think it's difficult in this audience to come forward and tell your story, but it's very helpful to us. I think one of the important points is the when your blood pressure was controlled, and then not wanting to have it go too low, or not knowing, you know, whether to stay on medication or not, and that's something that we need to better educate our patients about. Is, you know, I try to tell them it's not a cure, you know,
Right.
so when you take your pill, it works that day, but it doesn't work the next day and the next day. But, you know, especially when you're titrating or you're adding the drug, but you don't know when to stop. I think it's important that we educate, and it's really a whole in our system, so.
Right, because I know you can't just stop taking blood pressure medications. It's not, you know, logical. But to me, I'm kind of afraid if my blood pressure is already normal and I take something, it's going to drop and I'm going to feel bad.
Right.
And then there goes my whole day.
Right.
You know, because that's when. Yeah.
And I'm curious about the clonidine. You know, clonidine is supposed to be one of the worst drugs for side effects, and when you mentioned they gave it out like candy, I presume you didn't feel well when you took it. I don't know if it affected you.
It didn't affect me. It didn't do anything except for in the long run it would give me these headaches. I suppose it's from the rebound.
Yeah.
And I can't even call them headaches. You literally feel like your brain is swelling, and I couldn't move. I can't stand up. I can't do anything when I had those headaches.
Hi, my name is Jordy Cohen. I'm a nephrologist at UPenn, and I have a nocturnal dialysis shift, so I have a lot of really young patients like you. And a lot of what you said really hit home with me, because I think that what we run into as nephrologists is that we think we have this really great relationship with a lot of our patients, like you have with your nephrologist, where they say comments to us along the lines of, I trust you more than any other doctor I've had, things like that. And so we want to believe we have this good relationship, and yet there were still gaps in communication.
Right.
And I know that one of the other physicians asked this question, but in a different way. Anything that you can suggest to those of us that really feel like we have a good relationship with our patient, but we still have some gaps, anything that we can do better as providers to try to break through those barriers, to try to make patients feel even more comfortable in sharing that information with us, so that we don't have to do directed therapy and things like that.
Well, the way my doctor handled it with me is I went in and we sat down, and he looked at me and he goes, "You're not taking your medication." I'm like, okay, well, you know that now. And he's like, well, how are we gonna do this? And so he's like, I need you to be real with me so that I can help you. And so I told him, and I said, like I said before, I tried it and I didn't like it. I tried it again because you asked me to, and I even tried it a third time because you asked me to, and I can't. I just think it's gonna take a couple times, I think, for you to really get the truth out of your patient. So I think it's gonna take a little bit of work, but everybody's different, you know? So I hope that helps you guys.
It's really helpful. Thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you.
One quick question. I didn't say who I am. I'm Deanna Cheek from Charleston. Did you have a fear of taking your blood pressure medication while you were on dialysis? Because with the ultrafiltration, I find that my patients, even though they may require the medications early in the morning before a dialysis, and we can prove that they need it, they just have in their heads that their blood pressure is gonna drop and they're gonna be sick. And now we have more longer acting medications, and we used to see those symptoms, I guess back in Roosevelt's day, when the medications were short acting and patients would actually have a fall in their blood pressure. How did you feel about that?
I didn't really have a fear per se. My fear would come from mostly like taking it and then it would drop, like I said, if my blood pressure was already normal. But As to before dialysis, I took my medications like normal, but it's just when I got on hemo, it would just go up for whatever reason, and it's like, oh, okay, Clonidine. Okay, 20 minutes later, oh, your blood pressure's up again, let's give you another Clonidine. And it's just, I feel like there's a better way to problem solve that than giving a patient Clonidine.
Yeah, I wanna affirm to you that I'm a nephrologist and I hate clonidine. Are there any other nephrologists in the audience that also hate clonidine? So you were absolutely correct. I just wanted you to know that. And we should use other things, longer acting. There are other approaches to do that. So I hope our patients work with us to tell us that.
So similar question regarding that. So I have an older patient who loves to take his Clonidine and then keep measuring his blood pressure to watch it drop. And it makes me insane. But he'll tell me, oh, my blood pressure is 180, so I took this 0.45 dose of Clonidine and now it's 110. And I like to watch it and measure. He measures his blood pressure every 15 minutes after he takes the drug.
The Clonidine does work,
So,
I'm not.
yeah, no. But it scares me that he's doing that to himself.
Like before my IVIG, I had it, I'm sorry if I'm going over, but I had it in my head that for my IVIG, I had to take the Clonidine so that I can do my treatment, because they won't let you do the treatment if your blood pressure's, whatever, high. And the nurse came out to my house, so I don't wanna waste her time, I don't wanna waste my time, and I obviously don't wanna waste the drug. So actually what I would do is I would double up on my Clonidine so that my blood pressure would drop and I can get my treatment done. But during the treatment, and because of Clonidine, I doubled up. I didn't feel well, but luckily with the IVIG, I pretty much just slept through the whole thing and slept off.
So the actual question I was going to go back to is, one of the things we see that as you hit hemodialysis, you're now having your blood pressure measured all the time, really frequently, 3 days a week. Did that change how you approached, how you wanted to manage your blood pressure yourself, or did that affect you at all? Because some of our patients really buy into those blood pressures at dialysis, and some completely don't. And I don't know.
I mean,
We don't know what to do with them either. So.
I tried the diet, and me being young, I mean, really, how many of your patients are really honestly compliant with low sodium, phosphorus, stuff like that? So it's hard. It's hard. It really is. But I just didn't want the Clonidine. I mean, I literally wanted anything but the Clonidine, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's something that you guys can talk about to the PCTs or the dialysis centers, but they are so heavy set on that Clonidine. Like, I don't know how else to elaborate.
Well done, Gabi.
Thank you.
Excuse my voice. My name is Magnus. I'm from Iceland, working in Sweden. Now, honestly, isn't it tough to tell the truth to your doctor? Like, let's say I prescribe an antihypertensive. I say, this is really good. It might have these and these side effects, but it should work for you. Now, you take the medication and you get some side effect that you don't like at all. Isn't it difficult to tell the doctor? Is that a problem, actually? That's my question. Is just coming clean and saying, this doesn't work. Is that difficult?
Oh, definitely. Yes.
That's,
for sure.
and you often run into that.
I think you have to have a pretty well-established relationship with your doctor for a while, and to be honest with them, it's gonna, take some time to work up to, but I think everybody's capable of getting to that point eventually, as long as you guys are open with each other. And
can I make one comment? In Lund, Sweden, they just they're running a pilot on trying blood pressure monitoring real time at home, and it's kind of interesting that we started this with the dialysis patients, and they have a machine at home, and the machine sends real time results to the nurse in the clinic. So we decide which time of day the patients should measure the blood pressure, and the nurse is actually watching it real time. We don't really have any results as yet, but one thing we found out, and they found out actually pretty early, was that some of the patients running very high in the clinic, we're talking 200 over 110 maybe, the whole dialysis treatment would be absolutely normal at home, without medication. So I think we do have a lot of work to do, and we need to have much better contact with our patients. Thank you again, Gabi.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gabi. Kelly Sanson from Brown Medicine, Rhode Island. I'm a clinical pharmacist, not a nephrologist. But I guess my question is, I know it's very difficult for patients to admit when they're not taking medications. If your doctor or nurse or somebody normalized that for you and said everybody stops medications from time to time, or stops for a variety of reasons, have you missed any doses or not taking your medicines in the last 2 weeks? Would that have made it easier for you?
I think so. If they told me, more people were open, for me, it was more of a matter, since I was so close with my doctor, I didn't want to upset him or disappoint him. If that makes sense.
Absolutely. I mean, I see that all the time because I usually get if you're on 5 or more blood pressure medicines and you come to our clinic, it buys you an automatic visit with me as the pharmacist, because sometimes it's just easier to tell you're not a doctor. It's easier to admit that to somebody else, and that can be the go-between. So thank you for your courage and your information.
Thank you.
Is a related question, Gabi? If your doctor had said when they started the nifedipine or the clonidine and said these are the side effects that are most common that make people stop the medicine, would you have been more likely to immediately tell him?
I think so, because it would have given me a heads up in a way, so that I can look out for it.
So I feel like sometimes when we start a medicine, we just prescribe and we don't talk about the side effects to give people a heads up, like spironolactone. If you don't tell people it's a different medicine, but if you don't tell men it may cause strange symptoms like breast tenderness, then they don't even know,
and then they think
might
something else is wrong with them.
Then something else is wrong. So we need to make sure our patients are aware of the potential side effects and then adjust medicines based on the side effects, not just blood pressure. So, all right, I think that is it. Thank you very much, Gabi, for being here.